Thank you everyone for joining today. And again, let's go ahead and get things started here. My name is Pranati Gumpa. I'm a program manager here at Fieldwire. In my current role, I sit at the intersection of marketing and sales, helping ensure the tools we build truly simplify construction management for teams in the field and office. Today, in this webinar on Fieldwire integrations, we'll see how Fieldwire integrates with other systems to streamline your workflows, eliminate duplicate data entry, and also keep your teams connected. Before we dive in, just a quick housekeeping notes to make sure everything runs smoothly. Firstly, the attendees will be muted for audio quality, but please don't hesitate to ask any questions you may have in that little Q&A panel on the right side. We'll again have a dedicated Q&A session at the end of this webinar, and we'll do our best to answer as many questions as we can. And for the ones we don't get to, one of our experts will follow up with you directly after the webinar is done. You'll also see a few poll questions come in during the webinar. These sessions help us to get to know you better and also just tailor this conversation as we go through it. And also at the end, you'll have a short 5 question feedback survey. It's again a Google form. Once you close the webinar, you'll see a link to the Google form. Please take some time and give us some responses, give us some feedback. We would love to know if you have liked this webinar, how can we improve these webinars, and also any potential topics that you guys want to learn so that we can tailor our webinars for next year. Before we dive into the webinar, please take a moment to fill out the poll question so that we can start learning a little bit more about you. The first one here is this one. What type of company do you work for? Just a split between GC, sub, owner, developer, architect, consultant. Awesome. I'm seeing there's like a lot of subcontractors and equal amount of GCs. Again, I have a bunch of them in other, which I never know how to split it more. I would love for any ideas if you can give me in the feedback survey what this other means. That way I can still like split it up and see what kind of topics that we can set up for you guys as well. Awesome. Let me go to the next survey here. Um, this one's just about the role in your company. Again, just want to understand the personas that are here today: PMs, project coordinator, project engineers, superintendent, foreman, executives, IT, and just like others. Again, if you're clicking other, it would be awesome if you can just give us some feedback on what these titles are. Um, that way, I would love to just split it up a little bit more. I like that laughing, crying emoji. Awesome. Let's go back and continue with our presentation here today. So, this is just our agenda for today. We'll start with a quick introductions. I've done my introduction. I'll have Julian do his introduction and then go over the overview of Fieldwire. And then we'll discuss the need for integrations. And then we'll move into the integrations demo, where I'll walk through a few key integrations that we have and how can you set them up. And then finally, we'll wrap it up with a Q&A session at the end. Again, I have Julian here who's joined me graciously today. Julian is one of our product managers here at Fieldwire who is helping drive this integration work on our product side. Julian, over to you for a quick hello.
Thank you, Pranati. Hello, everyone. We are glad to have you here. My name is Julien Herbulot. I'm a product manager at Fieldwire. I come from a mechanical engineering background, and I've been a product manager for 6 years now. I joined Fieldwire 3 years ago, and with my team, we are building a Fieldwire integration offering.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Julian. Again, for anyone who's new here, Fieldwire is a construction management platform that connects field and the office, keeping everyone from your foreman, superintendent to your project executive all on the same page. It brings together everything teams need to access information, manage work, document your progress all in one place. You can view your updated plans, markups, and BIM models, also like the files and reports from um, anywhere on earth, I would say. And then also use it to like coordinate tasks, checklists, and communication in real time, and also track your progress and report your progress using our photos, forms, and other modules that we have. Again, Fieldwire supports all your core construction workflows just from one platform. I would also take a little time to understand why are integrations important. Again, on any given project, you all are working on tons of projects and you see there are like different tools that your data lives on. There's never like one different tool. So the different tools can span between your ERPs, productivity suites, scheduling softwares, estimation softwares, spreadsheets, and like you name it, there's so many different tools that the data gets like data is divided on to run a project. And without integrations, all this information is fragmented. And what integrations do is it helps you to create one single source of truth. So your plans, your documents, your reports, they all stay consistent across different platforms and you can access them from different platforms to see the same information. Again, they also help you to automate this data exchange, reduce errors from your manual entries, and make sure everyone is aligned. And finally, again, the integrations increase the visibility and control so you can monitor your execution, reduce risk, and avoid costly delays or rework. So, with that in mind, let's see these integrations in action and how you can set up with Fieldwire. Um, just to give you guys a list of different integrations that we have, Fieldwire currently has over 20 different integrations. We are still working on getting a lot more for you guys, but today I can't go over all the 20. I've selected a few key ones like Docusign, SharePoint, Google Drive, your Google and Outlook calendars, Microsoft Project, and Power BI, which we'll walk through individually, where I'll talk about the integration and also quickly switch to the Fieldwire platform to show you how you can do that connection. Cool. Let's kick it off with the first one, which is Docusign. So, this integration actually helps teams to ensure compliance with internal and regulatory standards by sending your forms through Docusign to secure and like do your auditable signatures. This can be your change orders, this can be your um, project documents, your lean documents, everything that you want to get signatures on, inspection, safety reports, just different things where you want a more of a legal signature. You generally use DocuSign to send them. And instead of downloading them, uploading them into DocuSign, and just creating that workflow, what Fieldwire does is it automatically helps you to link DocuSign into the Forms module. And once it's linked, you will see this little block where you can quickly click on View in DocuSign, export this into DocuSign, and create an envelope and then send it to the respected party for the signature. Again, it's a simple one, but it's a very powerful way to keep your approval workflow fast, transparent, and fully documented, even without leaving the platform. Let me quickly switch into the Fieldwire here to show you how this is done. Most of these integrations are done in two steps. The first step is to go to the integrations tab and connect the two different accounts, right? So you have an account on DocuSign, you have an account on Fieldwire. You have to first connect them. To do that, you go to this little integrations option. You can see that there is DocuSign. If you've connected it already, you'll see like a little tick mark here. But to connect it, all you have to do is click on it. My account is already connected, so you don't see a plus sign here. But if it's not, then you'll see a quick plus sign so that you can go ahead and add your account details here. And you can also see when it's connected. If you don't want it at a later time, you can always disconnect it. But this is at the account level. Now you have connected your Fieldwire account to your DocuSign account. Once this is set up, now you have to go to the project and set it up on that specific project on how to basically to use this DocuSign on specific forms. To do that, I go into the projects. I'm going to use this project today for the demo purposes. So I go into this project This is where the step two starts. So I'm in the project, I'm connecting the project to use DocuSign. To do that, I go to my settings button. And when I'm in the settings, if I scroll down, I see this little tab here, which is going to help me create my automations with integrations. So once I click on that, it gives me option to create new automation. Now I want to create the automation with DocuSign. So once I've created that, I'm going to go ahead and say I want to use DocuSign and connect them to Fieldwire forms for the signatures. Once this is done, I say create draft. And the next step here is to connect your form templates. Again, you don't need to connect all the different forms. You probably use DocuSign on, let's say, safety audits and inspection requests. You don't really have to do these internal ones, which are your dailies and timesheets and stuff like that. So I'm not adding DocuSign to those. So once I go ahead and add these, I can click on add automation, and now I can see it's trying to connect. Give it a second here, it says it's connected. So that's pretty much it. So from here, you can now see your DocuSign is connected to this project, to these different form templates. Let's go and see how this looks on the forms. I can either just go click there, or I can click on the forms module here. And once I do this, I can go into my inspection report. I have a sample here. I'm going to click on that. And now you see this little button here. So once everything is done, you want to get this approved, I can go ahead and say send it to DocuSign. It's just going to ask, hey, it's leaving from Fieldwire to DocuSign, and then just go click on it. It's going to create a package, and it's going to give you a link here for the DocuSign. Just going to take a minute here, but then you can see that it's sent to DocuSign. And it just pushes you to the DocuSign. If you're logged in, you can see the entire package in DocuSign. And when you come here, you can see this little view in DocuSign so that you know it's already sent into DocuSign. Awesome. Um, let's go back to the next one here and switch gears a little bit and talk about our SharePoint and Google Drive. These are like two of the most common file storage systems our customers are using. We keep hearing about these two different ones and how customers want to connect and maintain a single source of truth. Again, instead of juggling multiple times, uploading into SharePoint, uploading into Fieldwire, and worrying about like, hey, where is the most latest version? This integration enables automatic plan sync, which basically means anything that you upload into your SharePoint or Google Drive are automatically synced to Fieldwire. This again allows you to maintain your existing file management workflows. So let's say you have a workflow of uploading everything that's latest into SharePoint or Google Drive. That's the one that's the same one that's used you're still gonna use. And this integration will automatically push everything into Fieldwire so that anyone who's using Fieldwire will still see the most latest version of it. Again, it just makes sure like your team is working from the same set of documents wherever they are hosted, either on like the drives or on Fieldwire. Let's see how to connect this again on this Fieldwire platform. Again, these need a little bit of setup initially. So this is, like I said, again, it's going to take two different steps. The first one is to connect your accounts to Fieldwire. That step happens from your integrations tab. So let me quickly start with Google Drive, and you can still see I've already connected it with this little green check here. But when I go into Google Drive, you have an option to connect an account. If you have multiple accounts for different sets of projects, you can connect multiple accounts here as well. So I already have my account connected, but I'm just going to show you quickly what this looks like. So once I click on this, I can give it a name. And once I click next, you would see an option to sign in with your Google. And this is where you'll go ahead and connect these two different accounts. Once the accounts are connected, you can see when they're connected on, and you obviously have the option to disconnect it or change the name at a later time. Once this connection is established here, you go back to projects, and the second step is connecting your project and specifically locating that folder from where Fieldwire should push these plans. So let me go into projects here. I'm in the project the second step is always going to your settings and creating that integration. To do that, I'm going to come into the settings, I'm going to click on manage automations, and I'm going to create a new automation. And this time it's going to be Google Drive. So once I say Google Drive, it gives me option to push or like pick one of the different drives that I have. In this one, I'm gonna put integrations demo, and then I have two different automations that I can select. So you can do this with both plans and the files module. With the Google Drive, I'll show you plans and I'm gonna show you files with SharePoint. So let me go ahead and say plans, and now I'm creating this automation. Like the previous one, once the automation is created, you'll see like a little draft. But once you go ahead and connect the particular drive, so in this case, I'm just going to say example files and then plants demo, and I'm connecting that particular folder um, to the plants. And then you're seeing this connecting option or like just a render there, and then it gets connected. Once this is done, your plans are connected to Fieldwire, and then you can go back into your plans module and you see this little button here. And this shows up, especially when it's already synced, and it just says that changes from Google Drive are synced. Now, if you upload anything into Google, will get automatically synced into these folders. SharePoint is also done in a similar way. So again, going back to my step one, I want to go ahead and connect SharePoint Drive to Fieldwire. Again, it gives you option to connect multiple drives, just doing in the same way, right? You just click here, next. This is a little bit complicated where you probably want your IT teams heads up, give your IT teams a heads up because it needs like a subdomain ID and stuff like that, which your IT teams should have. And once that gets connected, you can see that it's connected, connected by whom, and on the date. Again, you always have the option to edit or disconnect these as well. And now let me go back to the projects and show you how you can pull this into the project. Again, I'm going back into my settings button here and manage automations. And this time I'm creating an automation with SharePoint, and I'm going to select the account from where I'm going to pull it. And also now you can see the plans is grayed out because you already have a Google Drive integration to plans. Again, if you are using both the drives and if you have one thing in one place, the other one's in a different location, you can also like connect them differently. In this case, I'm just gonna pull the files, create draft, and the draft is created. And now you have to map the different folders. So I'm gonna go there and I'm saying this documents. Maybe let's say I wanna connect some reports. I have some daily reports that I wanna connect, and I say connected. It's taking a minute here for the connection, and we should see this is connected in a second as well. Once it's connected, it turns green and this connected comes in. So if I go into my files block, you can see that there's like a little one that says SharePoint files, and I can click on that and I can see the different files that got synced directly from SharePoint. Awesome. Let me take a quick break here and let's do a poll question. And that's the poll question. Just want to understand what file management tools do you guys use? SharePoint, Google Drive, Dropbox, Ignite, OneDrive, we just have like a huge split in these different ones. So just a quick understanding. Also seeing a couple of you have raised hands. We've, like I mentioned before, we've muted it so that there's not like a lot of echo or anything like that. Feel free to go ahead and ask your questions in the Q&A panel. That way we'll go through them and answer them at the end of it. Awesome. Let's go back into our presentation again. Cool. Now I want to switch gears a little bit and talk about things like your calendar integrations, right? Again, also before going into the calendar integration, I want to quickly give a note. I see that a lot of you also use Dropbox, OneDrive, and others. I still don't know what the others are. It would be great if you can give us these in the feedback at the end of this webinar. But we also do have integrations, out of the box integrations developed for all of these different softwares like your Ignite, Dropbox, OneDrive box. And I have them on the integrations page. I have this integrations page in our links as well. In the presentation, we'll send you that link. Again, you can connect all of these different drives to Fieldwire. I just wanted to show the two most commonly used ones. Perfect. Um, Now, switching gears a little bit, let's talk about calendar. Um, this again allows you to centralize all your task management by syncing your Fieldwire tasks onto your preferred calendar app. Let's say you guys are using your Google or Outlook on an everyday basis. It allows you to push all the different Fieldwire tasks that you have onto your Google or Outlook calendar. That way, it becomes your one source truth. Once you set it up, any task with a due date in Fieldwire will appear on your calendar and it gets organized by project and assignee. Again, if you're on the job site, you still don't have access to your other platforms. All you need to do is like just open your Fieldwire to see what's coming up with your tasks, different deadlines, project milestones without switching between like different apps. The idea is this helps you and your teams to be aligned on your priorities. It improves visibility for everyone and also reduces the risk of missing an event. Now let's go see in real time on how we can set this up. So if I go back to my Fieldwire app again here, this one's a little different. So it's still two steps, but the one step's gonna be in Fieldwire and the other one is gonna be on your calendar apps. So the first step, as we looked at every other one till now, is going into this integrations tab and connecting or like generating the calendars here. So I'll show the Google one first. So I click onto the Google calendars, you can see the different ones we've already generated. But all you have to do for generating a new calendar is click on this and create a name to the calendar. Let's say I'm saying integrations webinar. It allows you to select the projects from where you want to pull these tasks. And it allows you to select multiple projects that you are assigned to or you want to have these tasks on your calendar. In this case, I'm just going to use one project. So I have that project and I can select my name. So it also allows you to have multiple people so that they all appear on different calendars. If you're a project manager, you want to see the different tasks for all of your different members on the project. It allows you to like generate multiple calendars as well. In this case, I'm just going to do it for myself from this one project, and I'm going to say create calendar. So what this does is it creates this calendar, and sorry for my spelling. Um, all I have to do is click here and say copy URL to clipboard. Now the URL for this calendar is copied. You can also see all these calendars are refreshed. If I'm not wrong, each of these calendars refresh every 12 hours. So if there is an update, it's going to refresh every 12 hours and it's going to reflect into your calendars. So all I have to do is come to this calendar here and I want to say add other calendars. And then I say I want to add this calendar from URL and I copy paste whatever I've copied there. And this says add calendar. And I can see this calendar here. I can always just click on it and rename it um, webinar integrations or whichever project you have, you can always rename it to that particular project. Again, you're seeing all of this done. And now if I go back to my calendar, I see all the different tasks that are in the calendar. I can see 5 more, when they are starting, when they are ending, and I can also just scroll through what's going on everyday basis. Also, if I click on one of these tasks, it gives me all the different details that I need, including my project address, project name, what exactly the task is, its status, its assignee, and also a quick link to Fieldwire's task so that you can go to the specific task directly from your calendar. We do have a very similar workflow for Outlook as well. To do that again, I'm going back here, setting up my calendar in Outlook. So I go to my Outlook here, very similar process. You click on your calendar, give it a name, integrations webinar. Let me see if I can spell it right this time. And I got it. Again, you can select multiple ones, and I can also go ahead and click that one particular one here. And then I'm selecting myself and create a calendar. And I see the calendar that's created right now. I can click on it, copy URL, and then go back to my Outlook calendar. I say add calendar, and then I say subscribe from web. And I'm gonna just go ahead and add it, give it a name, and import. As it's importing, you can see this little name here. I'm gonna just click this off. So you can see all the different ones. And again, it's the same thing. You can always click on it to see the task, all the other statuses that you need right from your calendar. Cool. The next one that I want to quickly talk about is, let me go back to my Fieldwire tab, but also the next one that I want to quickly talk about is MS Project. Again, most of you guys do your scheduling on MS Projects. It's one of the most widely used scheduling tools in construction. And what this integration does is it enables you to seamlessly sync your schedules, all the different tasks that you have on your schedules, to Fieldwire as tasks. Again, you can take your MPP version, which is like a direct download from your MS project, and Fieldwire will sync and update those tasks as well immediately. So if I quickly want to, let me take this to the next one. So this screen tells you a couple of things that we've done to your MS project file. So once you have your project file, you can see all these different tasks, delays. A quick note I want to mention is Fieldwire only takes the last leg tasks. So anything that's like your project title or like the category title, it's not going to consider them as tasks. It's only going to consider these last legs as tasks. And a couple of modifications that I've done is added three more columns to give these tasks a little bit more structure. So this is just like a Fieldwire status, Fieldwire category, and assignee email. That way, these go directly get mapped to the different tasks that we have, or like the different task fields that we have on Fieldwire. And when they get imported, they have a little bit more structure to it. To keep them more consistent, you can also look at creating lookup tables and create these drop downs, which are very similar to your projects. That way, when someone's filling these, they can just like quickly click a drop down and add it, which basically reduces any sorts of error when it gets imported. But once you have this file ready, you can go into Fieldwire and to that particular project and go into the tasks tab here, click on import tasks. And now you see there's an option to go ahead and import it from Microsoft project file. So I click on this. Again, if you want to see that template of how to set it up, we have a sample file here. You can always download this MPP sample file to see how this is set up. But I have a couple of them to show you how this gets added. So I have all that prepped and I have my MPPs here. So I'm just clicking on this MPP, which is like an export from Microsoft project, and say open. Let's say this is like when the project is created, the very first one, right? I'm gonna get all these tasks created. So I click on next. It takes a little bit of time to process. By little bit, I mean like a minute or 2 minutes at max. Huh. I'm sorry. There's some. Oh, I have already uploaded this before. Let me just go to a different project to show you how this works. So I'm just gonna go to the tasks. I already have some tasks here, but I'm gonna say import tasks, doing the same steps here, and I'm gonna upload the first one. So as soon as I click upload, it's gonna take a couple of minutes processing it, and it's gonna give me a quick summary of how many tasks are there. Uh, that's weird. I'm gonna do one more last test. Uh, I have a bunch of test projects that I use. So let me use one of those. Okay. I'm gonna use this and I'm gonna upload this file here. And as I upload, okay, I have no idea why this is not working, but generally it does. Let me see the other file if that uploads. I basically wanted to show you guys how it uploads.
Yes,
And
Pranati, it's because you need to create a new project. If
oh,
your status do not match the status you have in Microsoft Project, then
oh,
we are showing you a warning saying, "Hey, we cannot use the status you specified in Microsoft Project because that's not the same status you are using in Fieldwire." We
got
don't
it.
want mistakes to happen.
So I'm just gonna create a test project. Thank you so much, Julian, for that. Um, I'm gonna just go ahead and do this and create and add this file. And hopefully this uploads this time. Yeah,
Then maybe your project are using, I don't know exactly which file you are using, but
the
if your
file.
status are configured differently than the one in Microsoft Project, then that's expected. Um,
Um, that's okay. We'll look into this later. I have a, it sort of worked in the file before, but um, well, I'll send you guys a video attached to like a follow-up email. That way you can see it on how you can upload it. But it's really cool. I wanted to show you guys this because it sort of uploads all the tasks that are in your MPP file. And once you have the second file, so I also had the second file for you guys because as we go through the project, there are delays, things change. So what this new MPP does is it looks at your tasks and it sort of compares the ones that it has uploaded before. And if there is a change in status, if there's a change in the timeline, this second one overrides the first set of tasks. Also, if there are a couple of ones that you don't need anymore and you've deleted in your Microsoft project, it also deletes those tasks from Fieldwire. I'm gonna add a video for you guys to like look at. It's really a cool feature that we have. And sorry again for this interruption here. But let's go and talk about the last one that I have, which is Power BI. Again, this helps you to simplify all your cross project analytics. I know setting up Power BI from the API is a huge deal, but we have built that conduit for you guys to like set it up. And we also have a few templates that you like 14 templates. I'm going to go into those templates in a second that helps you to like just get the basic analytics on your pages. Again, this Power BI plugin is very easy to download. We have a step-by-step process. I'm going to quickly walk you guys through, and it can handle up to 100 different projects on a single dashboard if you have Power BI. Again, to set it up, you go to the integrations page here, click on the Power BI. You basically download the connector and download the template. And once you download the connector, also go ahead, download Power BI and install it on your computer. We have this little article that walks you step by step on how do you download it and like how exactly do you add it, all the different matchings that you need to do. Again, if you don't like going through an article by itself, we also have this little installation video, which is very detailed, which talks about like downloading from here, installing, and it takes you to through the step by step of how you have to like set this up. So once you have it, connect the project IDs and stuff like that. And once you have all this connected, it generates a demo dashboard. So the demo dashboard is going to look something similar to this. You'll see all the different projects that you've added. You have all sorts of filters, and it comes with like four different dashboards. The first one's like tasks project dashboard. What this does is it shows you all the different tasks that are there on all of your projects with all the different details, right? Like your category, status, assignee, and things like that. Now, it also allows you to isolate it and see a specific project if needed. So if I want to see just the Second Street project, I click on it, all of this gets filtered just for that one particular project, and I can click back and see all of the different ones that are there. The same way, I can also see, let's say I have a lot of tasks in equipment tracking or even on hold. I want to see what tasks are on hold on different projects. As soon as I click that, I see all these are the different tasks, and they are from three different projects. And just with a quick glance, I can say I have a lot more tasks at hold on this Beale Street project. Also, it gives you a little link to Fieldwire. That way, if you have a specific question, if you want to visit the task in itself, you can just click on it and see it. The second dashboard that comes out of the box is for people. Again, this just allows you to see what's the different task load on each of your teammates when you set up these projects or when you're like looking at these projects. Again, if I like just click on one of this, you can see Julian has like a lot of work in May, a little in April, a little in June, and he's assigned to like three different projects, all just with a glance. And you can also see all the different tasks that he's assigned to, the start date and date, if they have a delay and stuff like that. Same thing with your task checklists as well. um, Again, it's very self-explanatory. You can see if the checklist is completed or not. Again, you can use all of these different ones to filter them. You can also use and filter them from here. You don't see everyone here, so I can also come here, just go ahead and filter it to one person from here to see the different tasks, filter through statuses, and just use this as your dashboard to monitor your project's progress and stuff like that. Again, you can have up to 100 projects on these dashboards out of the box. It needs a little bit of initial setup, but once that is set up, and we do have a step-by-step installation guide and stuff like that, and once that is set up, you have access to these Power BI dashboards. With that, I know we are almost at time. I would like to go through one last poll question, and then we'll open it up for Q&A. And there's your poll question. We just went through like a few different integrations. I want to understand which ones make the biggest impact for your teams. Um, yeah, this is just like a feedback for us right away. And again, I'm very sorry about the MS project. I'm going to add a video so that you can see that integration as well. And I'm going to add that in your follow up emails. Awesome. Thank you so much. And let me end this poll and go back to our layout. And let's go back to the Q&A. Julian, you want to come on camera? And Julian here is a product manager who knows a lot more than I do. So I'm going to direct all the questions that we have to him. Um, so the first question is, I know we aren't going anything with MS Teams, but is there something that we can fit in? Our teams use MS Teams for most of the communication. Julian, you want to talk about MS Teams a little bit, so we didn't go
Yeah.
through it?
So very briefly, our Microsoft Teams integration allow you to be notified every time a form change status or when a form is created. It will send you a message on the team channel you want with a link to the associated form. You can find a video of that feature with a demo on our website if you want more information.
Awesome, thank you. The next one I have here is, we use SharePoint integration. However, it constantly breaks the link and becomes very problematic with getting information to the field. Is this a problem that's being reported from others? Have you seen these come in,
Yeah,
Julian?
so this is not expected, and with all, like if you see any unexpected behavior, simply reach out to us and we will solve that issue with you. So reach out to our support team.
Yes, if you're constantly seeing this issue, please reach out to our support team. They should be able to help you with streamlining why that's breaking and dig a little bit into the problem.
Yeah, and that's not something we are seeing
Yeah,
with other
exactly.
customers.
Will SharePoint ever have a two-way sync similar to OneDrive? And I see like Fieldwire is a one-way sync. So we have a couple of questions about SharePoint being a one-way sync. and if they want to know if we'll ever have like a two-way sync on it.
So two-way sync is currently not on our roadmap, but what we are considering for 2026 is the ability to have a one-way sync from Fieldwire to SharePoint, typically for as-built. So you will be able to import your plans from SharePoint to Fieldwire, and when you add markups and a new version are added or comments, they will be exported automatically to SharePoint. So it will be two one-way sync in both directions. And the reason we are going that route is that it allows you to have a clear source of truth, which is something that some of our customers shared about OneDrive, is that when something is updated both in OneDrive and Fieldwire near at the same time, it can be hard to know which one should be trusted. And with the one-way sync, you are seeing from the very start to all your users that SharePoint is your source of truth, and that's where new planned version should be added,
That
and
makes
Fieldwire will receive them.
that makes sense. I know we're at time, but I'm gonna go 5 more minutes over. Again, if you guys have any other plans after this, feel free to drop, and I'm gonna send this recording in the follow-up email. So the next question for you is: we use ShareSync as our database. I hope it will be added for integrations in Fieldwire for the future.
ShareSync is not planned at the moment, but this is something we'll add on our roadmap if Enos customer request it. Um, Fieldwire roadmap is based on your feedback, so feel free to share your voice with us. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you. And please add it to our feedback. We're gonna log it as feedback again, as Julian mentioned. If we have a lot more customers using ShareSync, we'll start thinking about that as well. We're switching gears here a little bit and talking a little bit about tasks now. Will watchers on tasks get the task put on their calendar or just the assignee? And I have another question in the similar lines. Do only assignees get the tasks or do watchers receive it as well?
So anyone can import Fieldwire task on their calendar, and the task they are importing is based on the assignee you selected. So if you selected someone in particular, you can see their task on your calendar.
Exactly. Let's say I'm the assignee on the calendar and Julian's a watcher on this task. Julian is still able to like just select my name in the assignee and download all the tasks that are assigned to me, and he can still see it on his calendar. The next one's can you force the calendar to refresh or does it only refresh every 12 hours? Uh,
Um,
would like to have like more of a refresh button or refresh at will sort of an option.
Yeah, this is what I would like as well. But sadly, this is a Microsoft limitation. So we actually share our calendar with Microsoft, and Microsoft only refresh it like twice a day, thus the 12-hour refresh rate. So no, it's not possible, but that's something you can do with our Excel integration typically.
Awesome, thank you. The next one is a slightly different topic. So, do submittals and RFIs get that updated calendar view like the tasks do? Do we have that in our roadmap or in our thoughts?
No, but that's something we are considering for our 2026 roadmap. And same
Awesome,
for the AI platforms integration with like ChatGPT or Gronk. Feel free to share your feedback with us.
awesome. Um, and I'll just go over one last question. Does Google Drive sync all project files same as OneDrive, or how does like what is the difference between like a Google Drive and OneDrive sync if you want to like just talk about it?
So Google Drive is a one-way sync, similar to SharePoint. So you can import your plans and your files, and by doing so, you say that Google Drive is your source of truth. Whereas OneDrive, it's a two-way sync, so any change made in one platform will be transferred back to the other. Um, and like that allow you to collaborate more effectively, but you have to be clear in your team that if someone make a mistake and delete something in Fieldwire, it will be deleted in OneDrive and everyone will lose that information, which is something that cannot occur with Google Drive, because if you delete something in files for a file in the files tab, for example, the change will not be transmitted to Google Drive, so you keep your source of truth intact.
Got it. Any plans for building integrations for AI platforms?
Um, this is not something I'm currently piloting, but yeah, this is something we are strongly considering.
Exactly. Again, if you have any different topics or if any different softwares that you guys use and you want to see an integration built, please add it to the feedback form after this. We are looking for different kinds of softwares that you guys use and are planning our integrations roadmaps as well. Awesome. Um, Thank you so much, everyone, for attending this. And thank you so much, Julian, for taking your time and answering all the different questions. Again, if you don't have your question answered, we'll reach out to you. And I see most of the questions are already sort of answered. And you will get a recording of this webinar and you'll get a recording. I'll also make sure I send you like a video for MS project with in the follow-up emails. Thanks again, everyone, and have a great Wednesday. Take care.
Thank you.